Keanu Reeves is one of the most respected and admired actors in Hollywood. Known worldwide for his iconic roles in The Matrix and John Wick, he has built a reputation, not only as a talented performer, but also as one of the kindest and most humble celebrities in the world. Millions of fans see his calm personality, gentle smile, and quiet nature, and they admire him for it. But behind that peaceful smile lies a story of deep emotional pain, heartbreak, and silent strength that many people do not fully understand. From the outside, Keanu Reeves seems like a man who has everything: fame, success, wealth, and global recognition. However, life has not always been kind to him. While audiences cheered for him on the big screen, he was quietly facing personal struggles that would test the strength of any human being. His love life in particular carries a chapter filled with hope, happiness, and devastating loss. Keanu has always been a private person. Unlike many celebrities who share every detail of their relationships with the public, he chose to protect his personal life. But over time, pieces of his story became known, revealing a man who loved deeply and sincerely. He was not interested in fame-driven romances or public attention. Instead, he longed for something simple and meaningful: a genuine connection, a peaceful life, and a family of his own. What makes his story even more powerful is the contrast between his public image and his private battles. While fans saw him performing high-intensity action scenes and portraying fearless heroes, in real life he was experiencing moments of vulnerability and emotional hardship. Yet he never allowed his pain to turn into bitterness. He never publicly complained or sought sympathy. Instead, he carried his struggles quietly, continuing to treat others with kindness and respect. This duality, strength on the outside and sensitivity within, is what makes Keanu Reeves such a fascinating and inspiring figure. His story is not just about fame or success. It is about resilience. It is about loving deeply, losing painfully, and still choosing to remain kind in a world that can often be harsh and unforgiving. In this video, we will explore the emotional journey behind Keanu Reeves' love story, the joy he once experienced, the heartbreak that changed him, and the silent courage that helped him move forward. This is not just a celebrity story. It is a human story. A story about love, loss, and the quiet strength it takes to keep smiling, even when life breaks your heart. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see Keanu Reeves forever. Before tragedy touched his life, Keanu Reeves experienced a period of genuine happiness and deep love. Behind the action star image, he was simply a man who longed for a quiet, meaningful relationship and a peaceful family life. While Hollywood celebrates glamorous romances, Keanu's love story was different. It was private, sincere, and built on emotional connection. During this chapter, Keanu found someone who brought him comfort and stability. Friends described him as lighter, more relaxed, and truly content. Despite being a global star, he didn't seek extravagant parties. Instead, he enjoyed simple moments, quiet dinners, and long conversations. They shared dreams about building a future together. For Keanu, love was about partnership, loyalty, and emotional support. He valued authenticity, and those who knew him spoke about how deeply he cared for the person he loved. He wanted something lasting, something real. At that time, his life seemed to be aligning. Professionally, his career was soaring. Personally, he felt hopeful for the future. He dreamed of settling down, creating a stable home, and stepping into a new chapter filled with warmth and family. For a man who experienced instability, this vision of love and security meant everything to him. What makes this period so meaningful is how rare it was for Keanu to openly express happiness. He has always been reserved, but those around him noticed a visible change. There was a sense of peace in him. A quiet joy reflected someone who had found emotional grounding. This stage shows a side of Keanu many fans don't often see: the romantic dreamer. The man who believed in building something beautiful away from the spotlight. It reminds us that even global superstars crave the same things ordinary people do: love, belonging, and a safe place to call home. However, life can be unpredictable. Just when everything seems perfect, circumstances can shift without warning. And for Keanu, this chapter of love and happiness would soon face a heartbreaking turn that would test his emotional strength. In the next part of this story, we will explore the tragedy that changed his life forever, and how he faced it with remarkable silence and dignity. Just when life seemed to give Keanu Reeves the peace and happiness he longed for, tragedy struck, changing him permanently. Dreams of a quiet family life and lasting love suddenly collapsed under the weight of unimaginable loss. For someone who had finally allowed himself to hope for stability and joy, the heartbreak was devastating. During this chapter, Keanu and his partner were expecting a child. It was a moment filled with excitement and anticipation. Friends described how he looked forward to fatherhood, speaking about the future with gentle optimism. After years of professional success and personal searching, it felt like everything was finally falling into place. But life can be painfully unpredictable. The couple faced the unimaginable pain of losing their baby before birth, a tragedy that shook them deeply. For any parent, the loss of a child is an indescribable heartbreak, an emotional wound words can barely capture. For Keanu, who had quietly dreamed of building a family, it was a crushing blow. Grief changes people, testing relationships, challenging emotional strength, and forcing confrontation with unimaginable pain. In the months that followed, the emotional weight of the loss affected both of them profoundly. Their relationship, once filled with shared dreams and hope, struggled under the shadow of grief. Soon after, another tragedy struck. Keanu's partner tragically passed away in a car accident. The pain compounded. What had begun as a hopeful chapter of love turned into a period marked by deep loneliness and sorrow. Within a short time, he had lost both the future he imagined and the person he loved. What stands out most is how Keanu handled this overwhelming grief. He did not seek public sympathy. He did not hold press conferences or use his pain for attention. Instead, he retreated quietly, processing the heartbreak away from cameras and headlines. While the world saw him as an action hero, in reality, he was navigating one of the darkest chapters of his life. Yet, even in the face of such profound loss, Keanu did not allow bitterness to define him. He continued working. He continued treating people with kindness. He continued moving forward. Slowly, silently, but with dignity. This chapter of tragedy did not just bring sorrow. It reshaped his perspective on life. It deepened his empathy, it strengthened his compassion, and it revealed a level of emotional resilience few people truly see behind his calm exterior. In the next section, we will explore how Keanu transformed pain into quiet strength and why his response to loss makes his story even more inspiring. After experiencing such deep personal loss, many people would understandably withdraw from the world completely. Some might grow bitter. Others might allow anger or sadness to shape their personality. But what makes Keanu Reeves' story extraordinary is not just the tragedy he endured. It is the way he chose to respond to it. Instead of letting grief harden his heart, Keanu quietly transformed his pain into empathy. Those who worked with him described him as thoughtful, gentle, and deeply respectful. There was no public display of suffering, no dramatic interviews about heartbreak. He carried his pain privately, but he never allowed it to affect how he treated others. On film sets, he became known for his humility and generosity. Crew members spoke about how he would learn everyone's names, thank people personally, and show appreciation for even the smallest roles in a production. In an industry where ego can dominate, Keanu's grounded nature stood out, even more strongly after his personal tragedies. Grief can either isolate a person or deepen their understanding of others. In Keanu's case, it seemed to expand his compassion. Having experienced loss firsthand, he developed a quiet sensitivity toward people going through difficult times. Rather than talking about his own pain, he focused on being present and supportive for those around him. His lifestyle choices also reflected this silent strength. Despite earning millions from blockbuster films, he continued living modestly. He avoided extravagant displays of wealth and maintained a simple routine. It was as if material things no longer held the same value after what he had lost. Instead, relationships, respect, and meaningful interactions became central to his life. There is a powerful lesson in the way Keanu handled his suffering. He did not deny it, he did not pretend it never happened. But he refused to let it define him negatively. Pain became a teacher rather than a prison. It made him more patient, more understanding, more human. Fans often notice his quiet, slightly distant demeanor and interpret it as mystery. But perhaps it is simply depth, a man who has seen life's fragility. and therefore chooses to move gently through it. His silence is not emptiness, it is resilience. His calmness is not indifference, it is strength earned through experience. By continuing to show kindness after heartbreak, Keanu Reeves demonstrates a rare form of courage. The courage not just to survive pain but to remain soft-hearted in a world that often rewards toughness. In the final section, we will reflect on the deeper life lessons behind his story, and why his journey inspires millions beyond the world of Hollywood. Keanu Reeves' story is more than a tale about fame, success, or even heartbreak. It is a lesson about how a human being can endure pain, loss, and loneliness, yet still choose kindness, humility, and compassion. In a world where many people are quick to become angry or bitter after suffering, Keanu's life shows that true strength lies in staying gentle when life becomes harsh. One of the biggest lessons from his journey is that pain is a part of life, but it does not have to define who we become. Keanu experienced tragedies that could have broken him completely. He lost people he loved, dreams he hoped for, and moments he had imagined living forever. Yet, instead of letting sadness turn into darkness, he allowed it to deepen his empathy. He became more understanding, more patient, and more respectful toward others. Another powerful lesson is humility. Despite being one of the most recognized actors in the world, Keanu Reeves lives a simple life. He does not chase attention, luxury, or public praise. He shows gratitude toward crew members, fans, and strangers alike. His behavior reminds us that success is not about money or fame, it is about character. It is about how we treat people when no one is watching. Keanu's story also teaches resilience. Life does not always go according to plan. Dreams break, people leave. Situations change without warning. But resilience means continuing forward with hope. It means accepting pain without letting it destroy our humanity. Keanu kept working, kept smiling, and kept helping others even when his own heart was hurting. Perhaps the most inspiring part of his journey is the quiet way he lives. He does not call himself a hero. He does not seek recognition for kindness. He simply lives by his values. And that simplicity makes his story powerful. It reminds us that we don't need to be celebrities to make a difference. Small acts of kindness, patience, and empathy can change someone's life. Keanu Reeves shows us that true greatness is not measured by awards or wealth, but by the love and respect we earn through our actions. His life is proof that a gentle heart can be stronger than any hardship, that kindness can survive even the deepest pain, and that sometimes the quietest people carry the strongest souls. As this story ends, one message remains clear. No matter what life takes from you, never let it take your kindness. Because in the end, kindness is the greatest legacy anyone can leave behind.